What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Professional Goals YouTube channel. And as you can see, we're doing Arkansas State's round 7. And on our left, we have Frank, and on the right, we have Brandon Smiley. And I think both these players are part of the Mad Pulse team from Texas. So we'll have to see what the decks they're playing. It's pretty cool that both teammates are playing each other. I mean, it's kind of cool, kind of bad at the same time. But as we see on the left, Frank is playing a Seismitoad something. Not really sure what else. And Brandon Smiley looks like he's playing an Yveltal Toad Garb deck. I imagine both these players know what each other are playing. They're on the same team, so. But here we see Brandon Smiley, Ultra Broadway, a Garbodor, and a Verbank, and search the deck for any Pokemon. Now, okay, we see him eyeballing Yveltal, then we see another Yveltal EX. Okay, so we're going to see an Yveltal EX. Alright, and we see it in here, and both players shuffle their hands into the deck, draw as many prize cards they have left, so each one has 6 prizes left. Now, if this is a mirror match, then it's kind of weird how it works out. You kind of just want to Y cycle with this home game. You don't want to like load up a big Yveltal with multiple energies. You just want to like cycle between two Yveltals. So, I mean, if that's what the mirror is, I think that's how I usually play it out. I could be wrong, but it looks like Frank is actually playing a Seismitoad roller skates Jynx deck. So this should be really interesting. Here we see Brandon get a Trubbish and a Floatstone turn 1, which is pretty crucial. So that way, if Frank does get, sorry about this, if Frank does get a DC Quake a Punch, Brandon already has a Floatstone on the Garbodor, I mean on the Trubbish. Sorry that my chair is squeaking. But here we see a random receiver to get a Juniper, I think it was, and we saw him had a Crushing Hammers in the deck too. So we see probably just another straight Toad deck like we saw with Caleb, but this time it's going to be a Toad, Toad Jynx deck. And so Jynx has an ability called Victory Kiss, which you heal 10 damage from the active Pokemon. So we can see him put the Jynx down here. Oh, he actually is not going to put it down. That's kind of weird. I guess he says, all right, this Jynx is going to be useless. He already has a Floatstone down. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's not a Jynx and I just didn't see what card it was, but it just looked like a Jynx to me. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Here's another roller skates. So tails, alright. So we see double tails, Burbank, Muscle Band going to the bench, Seismitoad, Burst Seeker here, for Sycamore, just in case if Brandon does get a Quake Punch off this turn, Frank will still have a supporter to use for his turn. And here we see Brandon use a computer search. We see him eyeballing a Dark Energy, maybe so he can get ready to attack. And then next turn, it kind of stinks that both players whiff the energy turn 1. I guess more so for Brandon because he can't attack this turn unless he drops like a Escape Rope, Yveltal Dark, or like a Switch Yveltal Dark or something like that. Something a way to get out of the active and put a bench Toad or a bench spot. But here we see a Juniper, so maybe he actually got the DC, not the Dark. I'm sorry if I missed all that. Now Brandon needs to hit a Floatstone here. Floatstone or a Switch, an Escape Rope would be pretty cool. But here we see an Ultra Ball discarding a Dedenne, a Dedaden, whatever you want to call it, and an Yveltal. And here we see him get a Garbodor. And the only thing I don't like about this is if Smiley like the only way Smiley can really retreat now is if he draws into a dark, not a dark, a Floatstone or a DCE or Escape Rope actually. But here we see it an Acrobite just to get Acrobite discarding the Muscle Band and Acrobatic again. And here we see a Floatstone and a Muscle Band. So this is a really good start. Frank. So now this way, Brandon's not going to be able to treat this Yveltal. So the bad thing about this is the Yveltal will die coming back into Frank's turn because it will do 80 here, which brings it up to 140. Yeah, and then the poison will knock it out, come back into Frank's turn. It's kind of bad for Brandon. Let's see, another Acrobike or a random receiver, not so sure. But yeah, I do see Jynx. I guess Frank just didn't want to bench the Jynx because he knew that Brandon did have the Garbodors ready to go, or I already had the Trubbish down ready to go. I'm just trying to see what's happening here. Here we see a laser once again, heads. So he is asleep now. Right, we set up the Seismitoad and we see a Quake a Punch. Like I said, the bad thing about this is the oh, we see a Pokemon Scintillated from Brandon. That is really clutch. And the DC to retreat to a Toad. Alright, so Brandon had a perfect play. The Pokemon Scintillated, even though it wasn't full art, we'll let that. That's okay, Brandon. We know it's not full art, but that's okay. But Pokemon Scintillated heals 60, and you get to move all special conditions off the active off that Pokemon. So he got rid of the poison and the sleep, which is pretty nice. Alright, so we see that Frank uses a Lysander trump card, which each player shuffles their discard pile into the deck except for trump card. So, and here we see Brandon do a Quake Punch for 30, and Quake Punch for 30, a Dark Energy on the Yveltal, and another Quake Punch for 30. Alright, this is going to be interesting, just punching back and forth Quake Punches. Another Quake Punch. Oh, but Frank's actually punched for 50, not for 30, which is pretty important to note. But we're going to see Brandon just load up a big Yveltal on the bench, just ready to go, and just going to be able to one-shot these Toads. Alright, so we see another Quake Punch, and we see another Quake Punch. Alright. And finally, Smiley draws the supporter. So we see Brandon Smiley top deck the color, shuffle his hand into the deck, draw as many bench Pokemon there are in play, or draw as many cards as bench Pokemon in play. So we see 5. Alright, and let's see here. Brandon gets 5 cards off this Colress. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I guess he drew 5. I didn't see. And we see another Quick Punch from Brandon. Alright. And just Frank has a bunch of trainer cards in his hand. He can't really do much. But here we see a Quick Punch and knocking him out. Here we see Yveltal come active. Now the bad thing about this is when Smiley attacks with Yveltal, he's actually going to let Frank be able to use item cards for his turn. Here we see a Juniper. Card in hand, draw 7. And we see another Yveltal come down. Alright, and we see the first knockout. So we see E-Ball for knockout. Here we see Frank send up a Toad. Alright, so we see a bunch of cards in Frank's hand. Here we see a Roller Skates, Tails, the Enhanced Hammer, get rid of the DCE, Crushing Hammer, oh, Tails. He also has a Laser, see a Floatstone. Here we see a Laser, Heads, putting the Toad the Yveltal asleep. And here we see a Random Receiver. And I think this deck is kind of based off Britt Pipers' deck that he used in Arkansas. It might be a little bit different, or that Curtis Line used to, which is just you just run like Junipers and a trump card, and that's all your supporters that you play. But here, I think we're just gonna see a Sycamore. Yep, alright, Sycamore. So if Frank can get a Toad DCE Muscle Band, he'll be in pretty good shape. I think I see a Toad. Another Crush Hammer, Tails. Oh man, that is great. Great flips here. Here we see an Ultra Ball discarding a Burst Seeker and a Random Receiver. Imagine getting another Toad. Oh, okay, so it is Jynx, like I said. Okay. Like I said, I don't know if I said this before, but Jynx does have the ability Victory Kiss, which you heal 10 damage from your active Pokemon once during your turn. But since Garbodor is in play, you can't use it. Wait, somehow the Garbodor lost a tool. Like, I must have missed something. Other Garbodor did have a tool. Maybe I missed a turn of a Zerostic or something. Sorry about that if I did miss it. I just spaced out there, I guess. But here we see an E-Ball for a knockout. Or did he play like Megaphone? I don't know. I obviously missed something. I'm really sorry about that. But I know they would probably catch it. Alright. So here we see Aaron play a Sycamore, not get DCE. Here we see Roller Skates, draw 3. He needs a DCE. I see another Roller Skates in his hand. Here. Tails. He's some Acrobikes in his hand. There we see an Acrobike. Can we get a DCE? Yes, I see Megaphone in his deck, so he must play multiple Megaphones or something. Wow. So he whiffed the DCE this turn. That's not good. Here we see a Laser. Can he put him to sleep? Alright, so this Yveltal is asleep. And we're just going to see a pass here. Again, Ultra Ball. Discarding another Ultra Ball. Alright, so Ultra Ball 2, Ultra Balls away. Imagine getting another Jynx here, so you can heal 20 per turn. Pretty cool. Question is, who does Frank send in? Does he let the Keldeo take a hit and have the potential of being poisoned? We see another Toad in his hand too, but here we're just gonna see a pass of the Keldeo and active spot. The only thing I don't like about this is that if Smiley does have a laser, he could just use it to put the Keldeo asleep and make it where Frank has to have a switch to get out of the active spot. We'll see what happens here. So we see a Pokemon Simulator heal 60, get rid of the poison. Just say Yveltal for 20, 40, 60, 80. Oh, he hasn't attached return yet either. Here we see laser, heads. Get DCE go down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 120, bringing it up to 150. And this is what I'm talking about. If Frank flips tails here, he'll be in really bad shape. Alright, so here we go. There's the flip and tails. And see, this is why the bad thing about leaving Keldeo in the active spot. Now it's going to die going back into Smiley's turn. Yeah. See what happens here. Alright, we see a scoop here. I think Smiley only had 2 prizes left. So, kind of misplay on Frank leaving the Keldeo in the active spot because if he did, obviously like he did when he stayed asleep. And just die going back to Brandon's turn, giving the Brandon the victory. And I'm sorry I missed that one play where somehow a Flowstone was taken off the Garbodor. I guess I missed it, or maybe the Flowstone was never there and I just seen things. But in this matchup, Frank just wants to get a turn 1 or turn 2 Quake a punch, so that way Brandon can't play any Flowstones down and stuff like that. But it seems like Brandon does. We see Brandon play the Pokemon Simulator. The question is, does he play 1 or 2? I know he played 1, then he got trump card, and then he played it again. So it's hard to say if he played 2 or 1. Frank just has to hit. He was very unlucky that one turn too, where he flipped like 3 tails on Crush Hammers, which kind of stinks. Hopefully he'll flip heads this time around. Have to wait and see what happens here. And I imagine Frank will go first here. There's no reason why not to. And was that a Jirachi start on Frank's side? I think it was. Hold on. Yep, no, good old Jirachi. Coming in clutch. Here's the Verbank, Floatstone, Acrobike. Did get Megaphone. Let's see what else. A Toad. And a Sycamore. Discarding a Sycamore, something, and a Verbank. Okay. We see a DCE here, or we don't see a DC right now, but we see a couple of roller skates, or see at least 1 roller skates in his hand. The roller skates, here we go. Tails. Frank is on a roll with these tails right now. Here is the Verseeker to get the Sycamore. And just a pass. I imagine here. Alright, he's going to retreat into the Toad. Here's the DC going to the Yveltal. Laser. Alright. Toad is not asleep. And here we see a computer search discarding a Verbank and a Verseeker. And I imagine this will get a Sycamore if Brandon doesn't have a supporter in his hand already. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, just a Juniper. Okay, Juniper, not Sycamore, sorry. Alright, let's see. What does Smiley have? Let's see a Dedenne in his hand. Okay, Muscle Band. And just a pass for 30. So, on to Frank's turn. He will see a Jynx, so that will heal 10 damage here. We'll see a Hand Stammer in his hand, too. Get rid of that DCE. Yeah, I see random receivers in his hand, but if I'm correct, if I think correctly, or if I know his deck correctly, he only plays Sycamore or probably 1 trump card. I could be wrong though. Here we see another Jynx, Toad, and a DCE, which is pretty cool. So here we see a Jynx heal another 10. Imagine he put the other Toad down. Probably keep at least 3 Jynx on the bench. What I would at least try to do. So here we see a random receiver. Alright, so yeah, nothing crazy in Frank's deck. It's just like Crush Hammer, Enhanced Hammers, Lasers, Roller Skates, stuff like that. And so you just try to reuse Crush Hammers over and over again, try to deny your opponent from even attacking. The deck seems pretty strong if you can flip Crushing Hammer heads, but that's the question, can you flip Crushing Hammer heads? But here we see a pass for 40, for another 30, bring it up to 40. Here we see a Dark Energy going to the Yveltal, Pokemon Center Lady, and a pass. So it goes up to 70, but back down to 50 because of the 2 Jynx healing stuff. We see a Roller Skates in Frank's hand. Let's see what he gets here. Ahead, so he draws 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he gets another DC on a Toad. He needs a Crushing Hammer this turn. Here we see an Ultra Ball discarding a Toad and a Verse Seeker. So I imagine this will get another Jynx if he does have the third one in. And it doesn't seem like he has the third one in his deck right now. I guess he has 2 prized, or maybe he only plays 3 or something like that. Or maybe he just plays 2. I'm not 100% sure of his deck list. Alright, so yeah, we're going to see Frank get nothing. I don't think he had any Pokemon in there anyway to even grab out to kind of thin his deck out with this Juniper. He might put this in play. Or we're actually going to see, yeah, we're just going to see a Juniper, I think. Or a Sycamore, sorry. Alright, so Sycamore, draw 7. Let's see here. See a comp search. This might get like a Crushing Hammer or something. Trying to deny Smiley to even attack him. Here's your Roller Skates. Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. And here we see a Verse Seeker for a trump card for next turn. Imagine he played the. Alright, we see a Laser, Heads, Acrobike. Okay, I imagine he gives the Crushing Hammer here. Alright, Crushing Hammer. Fails. And we see a Quake Punch for 80 total. Whoops. Dice goes off the table. That's fine. Oh, Brandon, come on. There we go. Alright, so the Yveltal does wake up. And we see Brandon drawn to a Dark Energy. Question is, does he... Yeah, he can E-Ball for 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Actually knock out this Toad if he wants. Which I imagine that's what he wants to do. The only bad thing is Frank will knock out his Yveltal next turn because the boy's in there. Yeah, so there we see a knock on the Toad. Brandon takes 2 prizes. He says that the Jirachi does have the Flowstone, which is pretty funny. Alright. So on to Frank's turn. We know he has the trump card in his hand. He's trying to debate, does he use it this turn or not? I wouldn't see why he wouldn't. So here we see a trump card. Each player shuffles the discard power into their deck, except for trump card, on both sides. Now the good thing about this is when Frank does this and knock out the Yveltal, the Yveltal does not get shuffled into the deck, but those dark energies are in the deck. So if Brandon does get a baby Yveltal, he can use Oblivion Wing to actually accelerate into other Yveltal. It's like a good and bad thing because now he's going to be down in Yveltal, but he's going to be up. He's going to have energies in the discard pile to actually accelerate. But here we see Computer Search discarding a Verb Bank and an Ultra Ball, I think. All right. Now I think it's going to get a Muscle Band or a Sycamore if he doesn't have one in his hand. So we will see here what happens. Yeah, I would describe the Muscle Band here before Brandon Quake punches you if he does get a Quake Punch off next turn. I wouldn't see how he could, just in case. So here we see a Muscle Band. Because the Yveltal was already at 111, so which is the 30 from Quake Punch and 30 from the Poison, it just would have knocked it out either way. And here we see a Juniper for Brandon. That is a lot of cards discarded. Right. Here we see a Dark Energy going to the Seismitoad. And we're going to see the Entrainment here. And Entrainment lets you search your deck for 2 Pokemon, put them on your bench. So here we see a baby Yveltal and a big Yveltal, I guess. Like I said earlier, the cool thing is about the Yveltal EX getting knocked out is that Brandon can use the baby Yveltal Oblivion Wings to kind of accelerate to Yveltal EX. Here we see a Muscle Bang onto the Toad. Now he does have the 3rd Jynx. I would bench it if I was but he doesn't seem to have anything. So we're just gonna see a Quake Punch for 50. On to Brandon's turn. I see a DC and a Lysander, so he's gonna Lysander this Toad and be like, all right, if you don't have a DC, you can't attack this turn. So I'm gonna be able to play Trainers next turn. But here we see an Oblivion Wing for 30. Put the energy on the Yveltal and a top deck DCE. Very nice. So here we're seeing an Oblivion Wing for 50. I mean, not Oblivion Wing, sorry, Quake Punch for 50. So Brandon's plan kind of backfired there of Lysander up the Toad. And here we see the 3rd Jynx coming down. This is what I was talking about. If you drop the 3 Jynx, Oblivion Wing can't even hurt you. Here we see another Lysander for Brandon, bringing up a Jynx. Once again saying, alright Frank, if you don't have a Floatstone or a DC or some way to retreat this Jynx, I'm going to be able to play my turn cards next turn. gonna be interesting. I don't think Frank has a way to retreat in his hand right now. I see an Ultra Ball versus Seeker or something else. Here we see some Jynx healing and the pass. Alright, so Brandon's gonna finally be able to play supporters. Here we see, item cards. Here we see a Floatstone on the Yveltal. Here we see another Dark Energy on the Yveltal EX. Brandon's just gonna go crazy with his Yveltal. And we see another Blowwing for 30. That shouldn't be a knockout. Yeah. Here we see roller skates, heads, draw 3. See a double acro bikes. So here's Frank Explosive's turn here. Let's see what he can do here. See a megaphone, get rid of that floatstone. Sorry, Brandon. That floatstone's not gonna work anymore. So he seems like he got 2 good cards. He doesn't know which one to discard. So we see discard the Crushed Hammer and Enhanced Hammer. Alright, so he's debating. I only see why those. I guess he was trying to make sure that he had a special energy to discard. Okay, so let's see here. What does Frank have here now? I see a Crushed Hammer in his hand right now, which is pretty good to play this turn. So you see Crushed Hammer. What does he get? Tails. Alright. I think we're just going to see another pass here. Or, okay, heal and then pass. There we see a Juniper. I guess Brandon didn't want to play the laser, so that way Frank can't use items, trainer cards once again. And holy moly, this Yveltal is being crazy right now. It's loading up a lot. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's automatically base is 140. Make sure I'm right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So it's automatically do 140 right now as we speak. Once again, Frank just doesn't have anything in his hand. Here we see another heal. See a Colress. Alright, so if Brandon can get, I don't know, some more Dark Energies, pretty much just going to win this game as long as Brandon stays awake with these, if he does play a laser or something. We'll see what happens here. Brandon gets to get 8 cards off this Colress, which is pretty nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go, 8. And a Muscle Band. Alright, so now it's doing a base 160. Here we see a Verse Seeker. I imagine this will get a Lysander. Oh, a Juniper. Okay, that's. That he would have grabbed a Lysander. If you see another Quake, a Blowwing for 30. But I got another energy on this Yveltal. So right now it does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is a base 190. It is not going to have any X's that come in Brandon's way. And we see another pass. Can't really do much. And this Jynx will finally die. It will finally fall this turn. The question is, does Brandon want to play Juniper all that stuff away? Alright, so he's going to. The only scary thing is, will Brandon deck out or not? We see a D. Oh my goodness. Here we see a Oblivion knocking out this Jynx. Should be a knockout. And oh no, don't do that quality. We've been doing good this whole game. Don't do this to me. Alright, don't, come on now. So my computer. Oh no, computer, come on. It's getting interesting right now. There's the computer can't handle this big Yveltal that's going to come at him. Alright, so on to Brandon's turn, here we see a 2 darks, retreat. Sin of this humongous Yveltal, and oh my lord. Is that the last prizes from Brandon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Holy cow. Like, what is that, 260? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. I don't know. I can't even. That's too much math. Might be just. Alright, so Brandon has 1 prize left. Unless Frank has a laser, he is pretty much done for. We see a Toad become active. And we see a Quake Punch for 50. Here's another DC from Brandon. And Brandon does take this game 2-0. I guess a big Yveltal, so just too crazy to handle. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. And this is the last round. After this round, it'll be top 8. So hopefully you enjoyed these Swiss rounds so far. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, bye.